Hello, everyone. It is I, everyone's favorite jack of all trades, with the foul mouth, Commodore Urban, and I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers for joining the Commodore's crew. And if you guys saw the last video I uploaded, the one with my brother, the Wild Man, that's his nickname. His name's Wyatt. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. But please don't get offended by it. So, I put a disclaimer on it. Anywho, I want to say thank you to all the subscribers, new and old, for continuing to watch my shit. This is why I do it, for you guys. And before I begin with the topic of hand, I want to tell you, I want to tell you about a couple things I'm doing. One, right now I'm reading the book, The Ship of Dreams, The Sinking of the Titanic, and the End of the Edwardian by Gareth Russell. And when I'm done, there'll be a book review. And if you guys have seen all the stuff I've been doing for this particular thing, the 1/400 scale RMS Titanic Premium Edition with LED, I actually found out there's more photo etch that can go on this model than what this has. And it's made by a company called Tom's Model Works. They have a set of photo etch bits and fairlead rollers I'm going to get, and a set of photo etch window frames that I'm also going to plan on getting too. So there's going to be a lot of detail on this fucking ship when I'm done. So with all that said and done, the topic at hand, it was the other day I was watching this video that came up from a British news source called The Telegraph, that was stating that RMS Titanic Incorporated, they're the salver in possession of the wreck. They're the ones that are the owners. The owners of the wreck that have the rights to salvage are planning on doing salvage work on the main pieces of the wreckage, meaning they are going to be salvaging artifacts from the bow section and artifacts from the stern section. And one of the things it said in the video that they're planning on salvaging is the Marconi set, the Marconi apparatus from the Marconi room. And it said it was a very controversial move on RMS Titanic's behalf, and the fact that Europe doesn't like the idea of it, and a lot of people don't like the idea of it, but some people are supporting it. So it leads me to this discussion: rest in peace, or rest in peace. Should we salvage parts of the Titanic, or should we leave her to sit and rot? It's a very controversial topic, no matter how you slice it. There's really no right or wrong answer. You have two sides. One side is to salvage, to preserve history. The other one is to leave it alone as a memorial to the 1,500 people that died, and just let it rot away. And one of the biggest supporters of the leaving it where it sits policy, you guys probably know him very well if you guys do anything with the Titanic, is this gentleman right here, Dr. Robert Ballard. And he was the one that is one of the biggest supporters of leaving the ship as it sits. And he even said it himself. At one point, he said that the remains of the ship would rest unharmed, a monument to hope and history on the floor of the North Atlantic, where they belonged. Well, I mean, I understand where he's coming from, because he also said in an interview that the stuff that they brought up from the wreck, he says, taken out of their context, that's all it is, just a bunch of items. But when you see them in the full context of the pieces scattered on the ocean floor with everything else, then you get the full scale of the disaster and the untold horrors of the night the Titanic sank. And he's right. You do get full context of seeing, the video imagery of the wreck and all that stuff. But I also have to agree with RMS Titanic too on salvaging stuff as well. Because when you actually see something up close that is from the Titanic, like I've went to a couple of exhibitions and actually seen this piece of metal. It was like a piece of a girder, probably one of the ship's ribs or girder frame or something. And there's a hole in the top of it. I put my finger in there and I touched it, and I had this sensation go through me, this crazy sensation, and I had this cold chill go down my spine. I'm like, whoa, that was amazing, because I touched a piece of history. I touched a piece of the legendary lady that's behind me that I made into a model. I touched a piece of the real thing, and that's incredible. That's that thing that's seeing it firsthand that really brings the story to life. For me, that's, the stories are great, but seeing something that actually was from the ship, like with my own two eyes, it brings the story to life, and it makes it real. This wasn't something from the ancient Egyptian era. This just happened a little over 100 years ago. This is in modern human history. So it's not ancient history at all. And yes, there are still people affected by the tragedy today. Yeah, ancestors of survivors, ancestors of the victims, they're still totally devastated, still totally affected by the sinking of this great ship. And that's the thing for me. A lot of people ask me, Commodore, what side are you on? Are you on the side of leave it alone or salvage it? Well, the way I look at it is, if you leave the Titanic sitting on the ocean floor where she sits, and leave everything down there, it's just going to rot. It's just going to disintegrate. There'll be nothing left. And what will they be left to remember the ship by? I look at the salvaging as a way of preserving key pieces of the ship's story. That's why I see it. I see it as preserving the ship herself. Like when they recovered the big, massive piece of steel. I can't remember how big it is. It's in this book. If I can find it. Right here, the big piece. It's a massive piece of steel. I don't even know how big it is. Yeah. Just this big, 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 massive fucking piece of the... Here, here's a big piece. It was an 18-ton section of the starboard side of the ship, from the sea deck cabin, C-79 and C-81. 18-ton piece of the ship. Think about it, guys. 18-ton piece of the side of this lady that was brought up to the surface. That was fucking amazing. And people were bellyaching about it. I was like, oh, that should be left down there to rust and rot. No, I think it's awesome they brought up that piece of the ship, because it gives people an actual chance to go up to it and actually say they have seen the side of the ship. So, no. So what do I think about the salvaging effects about RMS Titanic taking stuff in the bow section, stern section? I mean, I don't care. I mean, go for it. I mean, it sounds bad. Some of my viewers, some of you viewers might hate me for saying that, but it's like I said. I believe it's preserving history. Because yes, I understand. Yes, 1,500 people did die down there. Well, they didn't die down there. They died on the surface. There were some people that were probably carried down to the bottom of the ship. But the way I look at it is if you do let that ship sit down there at the bottom and leave everything down there, all around it, it'll just decay. It'll just go away. It'll be gone. What RMS Titanic Incorporated is doing is they're trying to save pieces of the ship. You know. So for future generations, even long after we're dead and gone, there'll still be pieces of the Titanic for the world to see and to enjoy and be able to keep the story of the ship alive. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That's my view. Those are my views on the salvage versus the non-salvage of the wreck of the Titanic. Yes, it is a grave site. Well, technically it is a grave site, but it's also an archaeological site. And salvaging is part of archaeological work. People dig, archaeologists dig at tombs of ancient pharaohs and stuff like that, dig up remains and stuff. What is bringing up what is bringing up stuff from the Titanic? It's no different than, an archaeological site of like at the pyramids or something. No different. No different at all. So there you have it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments about anything, leave them in the comment section below for me and I'll get in touch with you. And as always, if you're new to the channel, you like what I do, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell and become part of the Commodore crew and never miss another video. And until next time, it is I, Commodore Urban, saying that smooth seas and clear skies and happy sailing with you and God bless. Until next time, goodbye.